Welcome back to Counterpoint. We're picking up our current events panel, and joining me again are Brock Stephenson and Mike Patton. Mike, just before the break, we were talking about the Lululemon founder Chip Wilson and his, shall we say, offside comments, where he said he doesn't want certain customers, or the brand isn't for certain customers. People are saying, "Hey, that's offensive. You don't want me. This does not include everybody. What kind of company is this?" What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's funny that you're more politically correct than Chip was. His issue was he believed that there were women that were too fat to properly wear Lululemon products. He didn't want to see obese women wearing his product. He didn't think it really went along with the brand, and that sort of really caused a split between him and the corporation. They moved him out, but he's still worth an awful lot of money, so don't take up any collections for him. But it's a new trend, and Elon Musk is on this. There's been a number of billionaires and incredibly wealthy people that are just getting to the point where they're saying, listen, I have enough money. I can say whatever I want. I can say what I believe, and you can't cancel me because I have too much money. And that's sort of where Chip is. Chip is saying that the whole diversity issue is not important to his business model, that they should be focused on making money, not being politically correct.
Well, but if you're saying to a sector of society that perhaps seems to engage or purchase his product, you know what, this is probably not for you. How is that going to make him money? Like, isn't being a true capitalist saying, "Hey, everybody, come and get it"?
Well, because Lululemon is considered to be an elite brand. You're paying a premium to purchase their products. I just a few months ago, I went into a Lululemon store and I was looking at men's athletic shorts, and I thought, oh, they're very nice. I might buy a pair. They were $80 for a pair of workout shorts, which I was not going to pay. If you're going to charge a premium, there has to be a certain cachet. And his point is, we want people who look like yoga instructors to be wearing our product. And that's sort of the image, the expensive, influential image we want that people are going to pay a premium for.
So, Brock, is this sort of like what Mike's suggesting, that this is sort of an indicative pattern where we may be seeing the slow death by a thousand cuts for the diversity, inclusion, and equity team?
I don't think it's going to be a slow death. I think it's cemented itself in corporate culture, and the big challenge will be if it gets limited to actually helping diversify and improve the workforce as opposed to being politicized. And I think it's going to get politicized instead. So it's going to be here for a long time to come. And the corporate world will have to deal with it, whether it's like Chip Wilson speaking out or going along for the ride. We'll have to see.
Right. Okay, well, let's kind of pivot a little bit to perhaps related on diversity, equity, inclusion. Let's talk about gender ideologies. So, excuse me. There's a group of parents in Abbotsford, British Columbia, who have for several weeks been protesting against gender ideology in schools, for parental rights, that sort of thing. They decided just before Christmas, let's do this 24/7. We're going to actually camp overnight because we need to do this. We need to get attention. We need to really put the pressure on. I was surprised to hear that they're willing to even go overnight. I mean, that's quite the effort there. Why don't you start us off, Mike? I think this is the first of its kind parental protest in the country.
It really is. It's sort of a parental rights campout and trying to attract attention for their issues, and also trying to influence the policymakers who have brought these policies into play into their schools that they culturally don't agree with. And we're getting to the point where what more do parents have to do to make their point? Should they not be allowed to raise their children in the way that they envision? If you come from a cultural background that believes in vegetarianism, should you be able to teach that to your child or not? Should the school decide how your child is brought up? And parents are becoming increasingly frustrated, and that's what this campout is really showing.
My goodness. Brock, you're from British Columbia. Is this unique to BC, or is parental angst against gender ideology hitting a boiling point?
There's been a strong effort, especially since the NDP got into government, but even previously under Christy Clark, to make sexual orientation and gender identity a bigger part of the education curriculum in the province. And I think this is parents speaking out and saying enough is enough. The interesting part here isn't so much the backlash, but the community it's coming from. Stereotypically, the media wants to portray it as old evangelical Christian men saying this is wrong. But in this case, out in Abbotsford, it's a lot of Sikh families, several Muslim families stepping up, and it's not just old, discriminatory, old line, old stock Canadians.